The desert was quiet that night. Stars covered the sky like tiny lights. The wind blew softly over the sand. Everything was calm until the sky cracked open. A burning object flew across the sky, leaving fire behind it. It was not a plane. It was not a comet. It was something else. Something alien. People in Nevada saw it fall. Some recorded it on their phones. Others just stared in silence. The object crashed deep into the desert with a loud boom that shook the earth. Within minutes, the U.S. military arrived. Black helicopters circled the area. Soldiers set up a large barrier. No one goes near, they said, but inside that broken ship, something was still alive. Dr. Amelia Cross, a leading scientist in alien research, was called to the site. Her eyes full of curiosity. She had waited her whole life for this moment. The ship was strange dark metal, sharp angles, glowing blue lights that flickered like they were dying. "It's not a weapon," said General Hawk. "Looks like it crashed by accident." "Maybe," Amelia replied. "Or maybe it was running from something." They entered the ship slowly, weapons ready. Inside, they found 3 alien beings, tall, thin, silver skin, black eyes that didn't blink. One alien was lying down, injured, badly. Another sat beside him, watching the humans with cold eyes. The third stood, though weak, and spoke in a deep, strange voice. "You, ... are the humans." His voice echoed in their heads, not their ears. Amelia stepped forward. "Yes, we want to help." The standing alien gave a low laugh. It sounded cruel. "Your help? What could your kind do? You have fire? ... and wheels?" The soldiers looked at each other, confused and angry. Amelia kept calm. "Then why are you here? Why did your ship fall from the sky?" The alien paused. "We were hunted," he said slowly. "Our enemies destroy stars, planets, life. We ran. We tried to hide, ... and failed." "So you came here?" General Hawk asked. "No, Earth. Was not our plan. Our engines failed. We crashed." Amelia looked around the ship. Burn marks, broken walls. "Systems offline. Who are your enemies?" The alien looked up at the sky. "They are coming." The next day, global news spread like wildfire. Aliens have landed. The world was shocked, but not everyone was scared. Talk shows laughed. Memes appeared online. They came in a junk ship. One post read, "People thought it was a joke." Even some scientists said if aliens crashed here, maybe we're smarter than them. But Amelia wasn't laughing. Inside the alien ship, she discovered strange tech fragments of something advanced. She took one piece to the lab and connected it to a human computer. The screen flickered. A strange message appeared. It was a signal. Not from Earth, not from the ship, from space. A repeating sound, like a pulse, thump, thump. It felt alive. She ran tests. Translated the signal. One word appeared in simple English: consume. That night, the injured alien died. His body turned into dust, vanishing like smoke. The standing alien looked at Amelia. "We told you," he said. "They are not coming to talk. They are not coming to trade. They only come to feed." General Hawk asked, "Feed on what?" The alien stared at him. "On everything." 2 days later, strange things began happening in Earth's orbit. Went offline. Deep space scanners picked up movement, hundreds of fast objects heading toward Earth. NASA tried to warn people, but it was already too late. The alien ship in the desert shook violently. The lights inside turned red. A hidden system came online. It spoke in a robotic voice. "Void swarm approaching. Earth location exposed. Prepare for consumption." Back in the command tent, the alien said one last thing before collapsing from energy loss. "You laugh at us. You think you are strong." He pointed toward the stars. "Now see what comes when they laugh at you." The world had changed. People were still talking about the crashed alien ship in Nevada. News channels showed it every hour. Scientists gave interviews. Some said Earth had made contact with friendly aliens, but deep inside, a secret lab. Dr. Amelia Cross knew the truth. The visitors were not friendly. and something far worse was coming. Amelia sat alone in the lab, watching the signal again. Thump, thump. It was still there, steady, cold, and distant. It came from deep space, but now it felt closer. Each time the pulse hit, her skin crawled. She had translated the message. Once, one word, consume. She told her team, but they laughed nervously. "It's just interference," said one engineer. "Maybe it's from the alien ship," said another. But Amelia shook her head. "No, it's not from the ship. It's not even from this galaxy." Pulse was growing stronger. Something was listening. In the desert, the alien ship remained under tight control. Soldiers stood guard day and night. Porters were kept away. The last alien weak and quiet lay inside, almost dead. General Hawk entered the ship. "You said they're coming," he said. The alien slowly opened his eyes. His voice was weaker now, softer. "They are always coming." Hawk leaned in. "Who are they? What do they want?" The alien's black eyes stared into his soul. "They want silence." "What do you mean?" The alien took a deep breath. "No life, no voices, only silence." All over the world, strange things started happening. Birds flew in the wrong direction. Dogs barked at the sky. People had nightmares they couldn't explain. In space, satellites showed hundreds of fast-moving objects. Too fast, too straight. Not natural. Military radar picked up signals from beyond the moon. But they didn't match any known ship or weapon. Then came the first blackout. A small town in Alaska lost all power. No reason. No storm. Just darkness. 3 hours later, another town in Canada vanished from radar. Then a weather station in Greenland stopped reporting. No message, no warning. Just silence. In Washington, leaders met in emergency rooms. "We don't know what's coming," said one general. "We can't stop what we can't see," said another. Amelia was called too. "Speak." She walked in with data, scans, and fear in her eyes. "They're not just ships," she said. "They're alive." "What do you mean?" "The objects heading toward us. They have no engines, no heat, no metal. They move like insects." A swarm. The room fell silent. She showed them images from space. Thousands of dark shapes, moving together, heading for Earth. "They don't come in peace," she said. "They come to eat." Back in Nevada, the alien woke up one last time. He whispered something. Amelia came close. "What did you say?" The alien looked at her, sad and tired. "They laughed at you." She frowned. "Who?" "My people," he said. "We thought humans were weak, simple, loud." He coughed, voice fading. "But now, we hope you are louder than them." Then he died. His body turned to ash, like the others. That night, the signal changed. No longer a soft thump. Now, it was a scream, loud, constant, angry. It wasn't just a warning anymore. It was a countdown in the secret lab. Screens turned red, unknown objects entering Earth's atmosphere. Someone shouted, double quotes, "Where?" "Everywhere." Amelia stared at the screen. The swarm had arrived in the sky. Lights appeared falling, like stars. But they were not stars. They were the beginning of the end. The first wave of the void swarm. Small, dark, silent things that landed without sound. People ran. Cameras shook. News channels went black. And in every city, the same thing happened. Silence. The world had laughed when the alien ship crashed. Now, no one was laughing because now, the real enemy had arrived. The world had gone quiet. Cities once full of life now stood still. Streets were empty. Phones didn't ring. No power, no signals. Just silence. Above the earth, the dark shapes floated like shadows, hundreds of them. The void swarm had arrived, and they didn't speak, didn't send messages. They only moved, slowly, calmly, like they had all the time in the universe. Dr. Amelia Croce sat inside a bunker. Deep below the ground, the air was heavy. Screens around her showed the same thin black objects in the sky, hovering, waiting. She turned to General Hawk. "They're not attacking yet," he said. She nodded. "They're watching, measuring, like a lion before it strikes." One of her assistants ran in with a file. His face was pale. "We found something," he said. "From the alien ship's last data core." Amelia opened the file. The alien logs had been locked before, now decrypted. What she read made her stomach twist. The aliens had known about the Void Swarm for over 500 years, the log said. The swarm does not destroy with fire, it consumes with silence. One by one, stars go dark, not by bombs, but by forgetting. Systems stop, memories vanish. Machines fail, then people. We tried to fight them. We lost planets, lost voices. There is no negotiation. They are not alive in the way we understand. And worst of all, they learn. Amelia whispered the last part out loud. They learn. She looked at the screen again. The dark shapes above Earth weren't just waiting. A few miles away, in another bunker, engineers were trying to test a simple radio signal. They sent a short wave toward the swarm just to test. Within seconds, the swarm moved. The black shapes turned. One flew down, silent. Fast it reached the bunker in for seconds. Then, nothing. No sound. No trace of the engineers, only silence. Back in Nevada, the broken alien ship started making noise again. Blue lights flickered inside. Amelia and a small team rushed to it. To their shock, a hologram appeared. It was one of the dead aliens recorded. "Long ago, if you are hearing this," it said, "then we have failed to stop them." It paused. "They do not come for war. They come for presence, to erase it." The hologram showed images. Entire planets turned gray, moons with no dust. Oceans gone still like glass. Then it said something terrifying. If they find something useful, they keep it. General Hawk stepped forward. "What does that mean?" Amelia looked scared now. "It means ... They might not destroy Earth. They might copy it, piece by piece, person by person." The general frowned. "You mean us?" She nodded. "Yes, our bodies, our thoughts, our defenses." He stared at her. "And what happens to the originals?" Amelia didn't answer. Around the planet, strange things were happening. In India, a scientist disappeared, and an exact copy of him was found walking through Delhi. Eyes blank, saying nothing. In Russia, 2 jets flew into the sky to fight the swarm. One came back, same markings, same pilot. But the voice on the radio was ... wrong. It repeated one sentence: "All is quiet now." Then the jet crashed itself into the sea. World governments went into panic mode. Military leaders screamed for answers. Amelia stood before the leaders with a warning. "You can't kill silence with fire," she said. "Can't fight something that is already inside your systems, your satellites, your minds." They didn't want to believe her, but deep down, they knew. Amelia returned to her lab. She looked at Earth from the satellite feed. The swarm had covered the sky now like a dark ceiling above the planet. And then it happened. A voice came through the speakers. Not from Earth, not from the alien ship, from the swarm itself. It was cold, robotic, empty. "You are known. Our noise. You are next." The signal cut. Everyone in the lab froze. For the first time, the enemy had spoken. Amelia turned to the team. Her voice was steady. "They've studied us long enough. Now, they begin." One assistant asked, "What do we do now?" She took a deep breath. "We stop being predictable." The world was changing fast. Above every country, in every sky, the Void Swarm waited. Dark shapes blocked the sun during the day. At night, they glowed with a strange red light, like they were watching, listening. People stayed inside. Cities went dark. Airports shut down. Satellites stopped working. Earth felt smaller now, and hunted in a mountain base under Colorado. The world's top leaders had gathered. The room was cold. The air tense. Screens showed images from every part of the world, dark skies, missing people, and strange copies of humans walking quietly in the streets. "They're replacing us," said a general. "They're not just invading," said another. "They're studying everything." Amelia stood at the front, calm but firm. "We don't have much time." General Hawk nodded. "Then we use what little we have." He pulled a black cover off a table. Underneath was a small cube, part alien tech, part human invention. "This is Project Ember," he said. "Our last hope." Project Ember had started weeks ago, when the alien ship first crashed. Quietly, human engineers began combining alien parts with Earth tech. Computers, weapons, engines. The cube was the first working result. It held power. Energy that could bend time for a few seconds. It's not enough for travel, but enough to confuse, delay, or hide from the swarm scanners. "We tested it once," said Amelia. "It made a human invisible to the swarm for 11 seconds. "That's not long," someone said. "It's all we need to move," she replied, "to build." Under cities and deep bunkers, humanity began to work in silence. No internet, no phone calls, just whispers and old-fashioned radios. Old weapons were brought out. Secret tech was activated. In one base, a group of young engineers worked on a new kind of drone, fast, quiet, able to fly into the swarm and send live feedback. In another lab, a soldier volunteered for a test. He stood inside a machine built from alien memory metal. It wrapped around him like armor. He became Earth's first hybrid soldier, half man, half machine. He smiled. "Let's show them what noise really means." But the swarm was not blind. In New York, a false version of the mayor appeared on live news. It looked like him, spoke like him. But his eyes were wrong too. Still, he said, "There is no danger. We will join the silence." People were confused. Some believed, some didn't. Then the real mayor's body was found, cold and hollow. Now the world knew. The swarm was not just copying people. It was replacing leaders, one by one. In the middle of all this fear, something surprising happened. A small resistance. Movement started in old towns, villages, and farms. People with no power, no tech, but big hearts. They spread messages the old way. Paper notes, flashlight codes, paint on walls. One message kept appearing: "Make noise." Children banged pots. On rooftops, old radios blasted static. Musicians played trumpets from windows. It didn't stop the swarm, but it slowed them, confused them. Even a little delay meant hope. Amelia watched all of this from her lab. She smiled for the first time in days. "We're unpredictable," she said, "and they hate that." In the sky, the swarm shifted. Some of the shapes began to form lines. Others broke off and started moving. Downward, it had begun. The first real attack. Earth's last days. Or its loudest stand. Inside the Colorado base, Project Ember, activated for the first real mission. 10 soldiers. One cube, their job, entered the biggest swarm nest in place. Signal bomb inside it. The cube would make them invisible for 11 seconds. If they failed, Earth would lose its only chance. The countdown began. Amelia stood with General Hawk. "Do you think they'll make it?" he asked. She looked at the black swarm nest on the screen. "I don't know," she said. "But we finally stopped waiting." That's something. Outside, the swarm began to fall like rain. But for the first time, Earth was not silent. It was alive. It was moving. It was fighting back. The night sky over Earth was full of shadows. The void swarm had begun its move. Thousands of dark, floating creatures rained down from above like ash. Cities all over the world went into lockdown. People hid underground. Fear filled the air like smoke. But Earth was no longer just waiting. Deep below the Rocky Mountains, inside a hidden bunker, something massive was waking up. A giant machine. It stood over 50 feet tall. Its body was built from Earth's strongest steel butt, powered by alien core energy. Its limbs moved with the smoothness of machines. But inside was the heart of a human. The project was called Titan-1, and today, It would fight. Captain Ray Donovan stepped into the command pod inside the robot's chest. He wasn't a hero, just a soldier who had lost his brother in the first swarm wave. He looked around. So this is Earth's last card? Amelia's voice came through the speaker. It's not our last card, it's our loudest. Ray smiled. Let's make some noise. Outside the bunker, the swarm had arrived. Dark shapes hovered, searching for life. Their movement was smooth, like fish in deep water. They didn't break windows or smash doors. They just entered and replaced. But this time, something different. Walked out to meet them, Titan-1. It took its first steps like thunder on stone. The swarm turned, and for the first time, the creatures paused. Ray pressed the controls. Energy surged through the Titan. Arms lit up with blue fire. X moved faster than any tank. The sky shook. The swarm attacked. Small, fast creatures darted toward the Titan. They were like flying insects, but with claws and sharp faces. They moved with deadly speed, but the Titan was ready. Its right arm spun and slammed. First group midair smashing 10 in a single blow. The left arm launched a pulse wave, an alien weapon built into human design. Boom. The ground cracked. The swarm fell back. Amelia and General Hawk watched from the command room. It's working, she whispered. Hawk nodded but didn't smile. This is just the beginning. More swarm units dropped from the sky. Bigger ones. Heavier. Some crawled. Some slithered. One even looked like a giant black spider. Titan-1 didn't stop. Ray moved it like it was part of him. He dodged attacks, crushed enemies, and smashed anything that got too close. But then something strange happened. One of the swarm creatures stopped attacking. It stood still and started copying the Titan's movements, like a reflection. Ray froze. What? The mimic moved when he moved. It learned fast. It's fast it was adapting. In the lab, Amelia shouted, "They're copying the Titan's code. Shut down manual link," but it was too late. The mimic swarm turned and launched a wave of black energy straight at the Titan. Ray grunted as the pod shook. Systems blinked red. "Okay." The left arm went offline. "Okay," he growled. "You want to play smart?" He reached for the backup system manual override. No computers. Just buttons, gears, and human guts. The Titan roared back to life. Not smooth. Not perfect. But loud. Brutal. Ray charged forward. The mimic creature tried to match his steps, but couldn't guess what came next. Ray jumped. The 50-foot steel giant crashed down with all its weight smashing. The mimic into the dirt. The other swarm units paused again, as if surprised, as if scared. Inside the command room, General Hawk finally smiled. "They're fast, but they're not crazy," Amelia agreed. "They don't understand chaos. That's our power." Titan-1 stood alone in the middle of a ruined city. Smoke rose around it. Swarm pieces lay scattered across the battlefield. More creatures flew in from above, but now they didn't rush. They hovered at a distance. Watching, measuring, Ray leaned. Back in the pod, sweating. "We're not done yet," he said. "But at least now they know we can bleed them." Later that night, the skies over Earth changed. The swarm stopped moving for hours. Some retreated to the upper atmosphere. Others stayed still in place, forming strange shaped circles, lines, almost like writing. Then a message appeared on every screen, every wall, every mind. Even without devices, people saw it in their thoughts. You are not silent. You are broken, but you make too much noise. You will now adjust. Amelia saw the words and whispered, "They're evolving." General Hawk replied, "So will we." He looked out the window at the black sky and said, "Time to wake up more." Titans, the sky was still dark. The swarm had stopped. For the first time since their arrival, the creatures were not moving. They were thinking, watching. Because Earth had surprised them. In the cold desert where the alien ship had first crashed, something strange happened. A new light blinked inside the dead ship. Systems came online. Again, powered by Earth's tech now. Inside the ship, a voice started speaking. Not human. Not swarm.alien, the last message of the race that had once mocked Earth. Warning to all species. If the swarm finds Earth, they will die trying. In space, hidden inside a black command vessel, a council of alien leaders watched Earth's response. These were not part of the swarm, were from the same race, whose broken ship had crashed months ago. They had been watching secretly, expecting Earth to be destroyed quickly. But now, they were silent. One of them finally spoke. The voice was slow, confused. They were not supposed to fight like this. Another whispered, they were not supposed to survive. Back on Earth, Titan 1 stood tall in the middle of a burned city. Ray Donovan stepped out of the machine, covered in sweat and dust. His first battle was done. But he knew it was only the beginning. Engineers rushed to repair the Titan. Scientists scanned the wreckage of swarm creatures. That's when they found something strange. Inside one of the swarm bodies was part of a human brain, still alive, still thinking. Amelia stared at it in horror. They don't just copy us, they use us. The swarm didn't only kill, it absorbed, learned, and kept what was useful now. It was learning faster than ever. In a hidden base in Japan, another Titan was being built. Faster, smaller, made for the skies. In Germany, scientists designed a weapon that created artificial noise, a sonic burst that could confuse. Swarm minds for minutes, across the world. Humans had started evolving, not physically, but mentally. Technologically, creatively. The aliens in space sent another private message this time too. General Hawk, a video played on a secret screen. It showed one of the same silver aliens who had laughed at Earth's fire and wheels months ago, but now his face was serious. Your species. You are not what we expected. We mocked you, laughed at your world, called it primitive. But now we see, General Hawk replied, his voice cold and calm. We are primitive, but we're also angry. And angry humans are dangerous. All across Earth. Strange. Things began happening. The swarm started copying humans too. Quickly, but the copies didn't always work. One looked like a soldier, but started dancing in the middle of battle. Another copied a scientist and kept singing old pop songs during a lab test. Amelia realized the truth. They can't copy emotion. They don't understand chaos, humor, music, rage, love. She smiled. They're trying to become us. They're copying the wrong parts. One night, a group of swarm creatures entered a village in Africa. Instead of running, the villagers lit huge fires, banged drums, and shouted old war chants. The swarm paused, confused. Then it left, not because it was scared, but because it couldn't. Understand, the noise was not data, it was soul, the alien council in space. Watched in silence, one of them finally said, "If humans survive this, we may never control them again." Another replied, "Then maybe we should help them." Back on Earth, Amelia stared at the sky. The swarm was changing shape again, growing faster, smarter, but so was Earth. Ray walked up beside her, armor glowing, there. "Adapting," he said. "So are we," she replied. And we're louder. That night, a new Titan was launched, Titan 2. It wasn't piloted by a soldier. It was controlled by a 14-year-old hacker named Leo from his bedroom. He wasn't strong. He wasn't brave. but he had coded a virus that crashed to swarm units earlier that week. Now he was connected to Earth's newest weapon, and he was smiling. Across the world, humans rose not because they were the strongest, but because they were the loudest, the most unpredictable, and now it's the most dangerous. The aliens who once laughed now watched in silence, and in their eyes at last was regret. The sky was no longer black, it was burning, not from swarm fire, but from human rockets. After weeks of defending Earth, humanity was done waiting. Now it was time to attack. 3 massive ships launched from secret hangars across the world. Built in record time using alien metal and human firepower, they were Earth's first real space warships. Their names, Lion, Falcon, Ghost. Each ship carried soldiers, engineers, and new Titans versions made for zero-gravity battle. People had once joked about flying cars and laser guns. Now they were flying into war, and they weren't laughing anymore. Inside the Falcon, Captain Ray Donovan suited up again. His new armor was lighter, faster, and built for the stars. "Ready for round 2?" asked a voice on his comms. It was Leo, the teenage hacker, now officially Earth's youngest military asset. "Always," Ray said. "Let's show them Earth isn't scared of the dark." The mission was clear. Find the swarm's central hive, massive black structure hiding behind Earth's moon, destroy it, cut the swarm's signal, and stop the replacements from spreading. As the 3 ships moved silently through space, swarm scouts spotted them. The creatures rushed toward the ship's wings stretched wide, glowing red. The first battle in space had begun. Laser cannons fired, pulse missiles flew, Titan units launched from ship bays. Spinning into the stars like metal comets, Ray's Titan slammed into the first wave, arms glowing with energy. He spun, kicked, and crushed swarm creatures like ants. "They're faster out here," said. Leo's voice replied, "Good, so are we." From the command deck of the Lion, Amelia Cross watched the battle. She wasn't a soldier, but she was the reason they had weapons at all. She saw something on her screen. "Ray, what's your left copy swarm incoming?" Ray turned just in time to punch the fake Titan in the face. It broke apart like glass. "They're copying our Titans now," he said, "but not our minds." Meanwhile, the ghost ship broke formation and flew behind the swarm nest. Its mission was special. Inside it was Earth's last weapon, a bomb made from aliens' gravity tech. One blast could crush the entire nest, but they had to get close. Too close. As the ghost flew forward, it was hit by swarm tentacles. Metal groaned. Lights flashed. The hull started breaking. Inside, a young pilot named Sarah. She made a choice. She locked the controls, set the course, and stayed inside. Her voice came through the channel. "For Earth." Then the ghost crashed into the hive and exploded. The blast was like a silent sun. A wave of pure energy shook space. Swarm creatures stopped flying. Some fell, frozen. Others screamed with no mouth. Ray's Titan hovered in the dark. It worked. Leo was quiet. She gave everything, he said. Amelia lowered her head and saved billions. Back on Earth, people looked up at the sky. The swarm shapes began falling falling apart. The attack had worked. The hive was gone. But something unexpected happened. A new signal appeared. Not from the swarm, but from deep space. Alien, powerful, terrified. "Earth, you are heard. We are watching. We will not interfere again." The same alien council that once laughed now bowed their heads. In fear, they sent one final message to Earth. "You were chaos. Now you are power." Ray floated inside his Titan, staring into space. "Is it over?" Leo asked. Ray replied, "No. But they know now." Leo smiled. "That Earth doesn't just survive," Ray finished. "We fight." Fire had fallen from the sky. But this time, it wasn't from enemies. It was from us. And it lit up the stars. The war was over. The sky was quiet. Again, the black shapes of the void swarm had vanished, broken into dust and silence. The hive was gone. Earth was safe. for now, but nothing would ever be the same. In the middle of the Nevada desert, the old alien ship still sat, rusted, scarred, silent months ago. It had crashed there half-dead, full of aliens who mocked Earth's primitive tools. Now it was surrounded by flowers, flags, and people, not to worship it, but to remember it, because that broken ship had brought more than just aliens. It had brought a fight that made Earth rise. Dr. Amelia Crow stood before it. Looking at its burned hull, she placed her hand on the metal. "This is where it began," she whispered. Behind her, news cameras flashed, soldiers stood tall, children held signs that read, "Never silent again. We are Earth." In space, the remains of the swarm still floated quiet and dead. No movement, no signal. But humans weren't just watching now. They were out there. Earth had built new satellites, new stations. A fleet of defense drones guarded the planet. Humans had gone from hiding underground to flying between stars inside the Titan lab. Ray Donovan sat quietly in front of his armor. He had fought in the first battle and survived every mission after that. Now, the war was done. He removed his gloves and sighed. Time to rest. Leo walked in, no longer just a hacker, but now a symbol of Earth's new generation. "You're not quitting, are you?" Ray smiled. "Not quitting, just letting others fly." Leo pointed at the screen. "Because Earth's not alone anymore." Aliens were reaching out, but this time, not with threats. They came with messages of respect, of fear, of offers. A silver ship from the old alien race arrived in Earth's orbit. Its leader, a tall being with glowing blue eyes, spoke in public for the first time. "We once laughed at your kind," he said. "We saw your fire, your wheels, your noise, and thought you were fools." He paused. "But it was your chaos that saved you, your rage, your love, your courage." Then he said the words the galaxy would never forget. "We do not fear the swarm anymore. We fear you." Earth was no longer a joke. It was a force, a storm, a sound too loud to ignore. A global council was formed, not just to protect Earth, but to guide other planets that might face the swarm in the future. Human engineers taught others how to mix chaos with science. Musicians created sounds the swarm had never understood. Children dreamed of building cities on the moon and the galaxy. Watched in awe, the broken ship in Nevada was turned into a museum. Its walls were covered in names those who had fought, died, and saved humanity. Inside, a message played on loop. They came mocking Earth. They left respecting it. And those who try again will regret it even more. 1 year later, a new ship launched from Earth's orbit. Sleek, fast, built by both human and alien hands. Its name, Echo-1, a symbol of the noise Earth would never stop making as it left the planet. Thousands of people watched from the ground. Some waved, some cried, some simply whispered, "We are not alone anymore." Amelia stood beside Ray and Leo, watching the ship rise. Ray crossed his arms. "Think they'll remember us?" Amelia smiled. "The galaxy will never forget, 'cause it all started with one broken ship, one moment of laughter, and ended with a sound so loud, even the stars had to listen."